here at Jetwing Lighthouse in Galle for the 3rd Annual Coffee Festival, organized by Lanka Coffee Association in collaboration with Market Development Facility and Jetwing Hotels to support the rich tapestry of Sri Lanka's specialty coffee. Join me as we discover the re-emergence of local excellence in today's episode of hi.lk.
I would like to welcome the distinguished members of the Lanka Coffee Association, our chief guest, Mr. Paul Stevens, the Australian ambassador, esteemed guests, media persons, sponsors, and everyone present here. It's going to be an exciting day for all of us as we come together to reflect on our achievements, address challenges, and chart a path forward for the Sri Lankan coffee sector. Throughout the year, our association has demonstrated unwavering commitment and dedication to the advancement of our coffee industry. Together, we have overcome hurdles, embraced innovation, and harnessed opportunities that have shaped our journey.
To this end, Sri Lankan specialty coffee was showcased for the first time at an international forum at the Melbourne International Coffee Expo 2022, receiving positive feedback and interest from international stakeholders. Currently, Sri Lanka's top three export markets for specialty coffee are Australia, Maldives, and the Middle East. As noted already, there are synergies between the coffee industry and tourism. Having a sponsor like Jetwing further reflects this important link. The hotels, restaurants, and cafes sector is the largest market for local specialty coffee, and organisations like Jetwing know the value to their brand of offering quality Sri Lankan coffee to the tourist market.
I'm with Mariam Piracha here today. How are you doing?
Very well, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. It has been another wonderful and a successful event today. How do you think events like this contribute to the local coffee industry?
Absolutely. I think this is the 3rd festival that we're co-hosting with Lanka Coffee Association and our esteemed sponsors. And this festival just creates such a buzz in the industry and the local market about creating knowledge, sharing linkages, bringing all the stakeholders together under one roof. Private sector, public sector, coffee enthusiasts, and I think we've all learned a lot together today. We're sharing a lot together, and I think it helps build very important connections and identifying business leads. So I really think it's a very valuable part to create this momentum and maintain this momentum for a country like Sri Lanka, where coffee is emerging and hoping to be part of the global market.
Australian High Commissioner, His Excellency Mr. Paul Stevens. How are you doing, and what do you think about today's proceedings?
Look, I'm doing very well, thank you. Today's proceedings are fantastic. It's the 3rd Sri Lanka Coffee Festival being held here in Galle for the first time, and I think the fact that it's being held in Galle shows that there's a real connection between the emerging coffee sector and, of course, the tourism sector.
Of course, indeed. Also, Ms. Paul, what do you think the locals should take into consideration when exporting coffee to the world?
Well, I think the important thing is to find a market. So market access is really important, but also to have a quality product. And I think that's what we're trying to develop here through Australian government support for the Market Development Facility, is to help the smallholder farmers who comprise the majority of coffee producers here, get their product, produce it, and then take it to market. Take it to market here in Sri Lanka, but also as an export product as well.
What are the opportunities that you see for Sri Lankan coffee in the global market to be competitive, especially in the specialty coffee sector there?
For Sri Lanka to set itself apart and bring in that much needed sort of foreign exchange revenue generation, and especially tapping into that export market, specialty is where it needs to be. If you take Sri Lanka, there are several factors as well that are advantageous to us to tap into that space. First of all, it's going to be the favorable climatic conditions prevalent in the country, in the upcountry regions as well. Throughout the years, climate change has had its impact and has had its effect on some of these larger producers, especially like Brazil, where supply deteriorated significantly over the last few years. But this provides an opportunity for MDF to sort of capitalize on that supply glut and sort of take that place where the supply wasn't there, at least for a little bit.
As plantation companies, when we thought of alternatives, that came first in our mind was coffee, because we have known coffee to a certain extent, and it happened to be the most suitable crop.
I think what we saw with coffee in the early days was really kind of a domestic opportunity. But I think the more that we've spent time with this, I think the real opportunity here is how do we all come together to expand this for the export opportunity?
He supports in several ways to the stakeholder under the several programs. First one is the new cultivation program. If the farmer or anyone like to cultivate coffee, we are ready to help them. We give technical support free of charge. Our officers visit to the land and give instruction what they want. And if it is a large scale cultivation, our panel go to the lands and give the reports how they want to develop that cultivation.
For example, last year obviously we had the crisis, and previous years it was a crisis. There was a lot of supply chain issues for us. Once that was kind of navigated, we still faced a lot of issues with low quality products coming into the market, but that's still being served. It wasn't the best match for any cafe or restaurant, because most of the coffee drinkers would be repeat customers, and these guys seeing a difference in the product was obviously was giving us feedback, and we would see this and we would always work with our roasters. But I think now most of our stakeholders have realized the situation and they've adjusted, and I think things are going smoothly so far.
I'm here with Deshan today. How are you, Deshan?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you.
Nice. Could you tell us about this event a bit more, and how an event like this, go beyond and help the industry of coffee in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, so something like a coffee festival that we've hosted with the LC, I mean, it's a first of its kind in Sri Lanka as well. And the entire idea of it was to bring all these different stakeholders from the private sector as well as the government sector together under one roof. And essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to celebrate the resurgence of specialty coffee in Sri Lanka and promote it both domestically as well as internationally. So overall, I think that it's great to see the traction that the sector has gotten, and with these different stakeholders that worked essentially in silos before the sort of Lanka Coffee Association got involved. Working together, there is a certain synergy amongst the sector, and using policies and strategies, they are able to sort of develop the sector in a more impactful way moving forward.
Kushan, how are you doing?
Very good.
Could you tell us a bit more about today's event?
So today was the third coffee festival that happened in Sri Lanka. We started this back in 2022. We did it last year, and now we are into our third year. And it's an amazing event. I think a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of interested parties, stakeholders from different sides of the value chain is here today with us. And it has been an absolute pleasure to have this event today.
It has been nice, of course. How does an event like this foster the bilateral relationship we can, have with countries abroad?
If you look at even the crowd that is here today, you can see how many foreigners are here, how many tourists are here. We have United Nations, we have UNIDO, we have European Union, we have MDF, we have Jetwing, all partnered up to make sure that this coffee is not just in Sri Lanka. Just for context, Sri Lanka was once the third largest exporter in the world in the 1850s, and there's no reason why we can't go back there. And I think these are primary steps in doing that, promoting the Sri Lankan coffee industry, and I think the results are out here today.
We have savored in exquisite brews and engaged in enlightening conversations to support this incredible industry. I'm Meloni, signing off for Hi Events.